Irma weakens but hammers heavily populated Tampa with destructive 100 miles per hour winds after roaring up Florida, leaving more than 3 million without power and killing at least 4. Hurricane Irma is currently barreling up Florida's west coast after the deadly storm made landfall for the second time on Sunday. Irma remained a dangerous Category 2 hurricane as it started hammering the Tampa and St. Petersburg regions with 100 miles per hour winds late on Sunday night. The National Hurricane Center says Irma's eye is about 50 miles southeast of Tampa and moving at a fast clip of 14 miles per hour. Hurricane Irma had earlier punished Fort Myers and Naples after coming ashore for the second time in Marco Island at 3:30 p.m. Areas of Naples continue to suffer substantial flooding and swathes of the west coast are under 15 feet storm surge warnings. The National Hurricane Center said water levels in Naples rose 7 feet in just 90 minutes. Irma arrived as a Category 4 storm but had fallen to a Category 2 by late Sunday afternoon and was continuing to weaken as it marched up Florida's Gulf Coast. Its center was on track to reach the Tampa Bay area by midnight. The four-county area, with approximately 3 million residents, encompasses two of Florida's largest cities, Tampa and St. Petersburg. More than 170,000 people waited in shelters statewide as Irma headed up the coast. Forecasters expect Irma to weaken further into a tropical storm over far northern Florida or southern Georgia on Monday as it speeds up its forward motion. The Hurricane Center says the storm is still life-threatening with dangerous storm surge, wind, and heavy rains. Irma has so far claimed 4 lives in Florida, including 2 law enforcement officials involved in a car crash Sunday. Hardy County Sheriff's deputy and mother of 1 Julie Bridges and Hardy Correctional Institute Sergeant Joseph Osman crashed and died around 60 miles from Saratoga. The storm toppled cranes, swallowed streets and left about 5 million without power Sunday as it unleashed its terrifying fury after wreaking a trail of death and destruction through the Caribbean. 6 million people were ordered to flee the path of the hurricane before it first made landfall in Florida Keys. Handfuls of holdout residents, having defied calls to evacuate, hunkered down as Irma tore over the Keys, ripping boats from their moorings, flattening palm trees and downing power lines across the island chain popular for fishing and scuba diving. The Keys is now the subject of a huge airborne relief mission. The county administrator in the Florida Keys says crews will begin house-to-house searches Monday morning, looking for people who need help and assessing damage from Hurricane Irma. Monroe County Administrator Roman Gastizzi says relief will arrive on a C-130 military plane at the Key West International Airport. Once it's light out, they'll check on survivors. They suspect they may find fatalities. Gastizzi says they are prepared for the worst. While Southwest Florida bore the deadly brunt of Irma's wrath Sunday, the coastlines of Miami and the neighboring island of Miami Beach were heavily inundated by storm surges as hurricane winds sent 2 giant construction cranes crashing down. A third construction crane toppled late Sunday at a project on Fort Lauderdale Beach. Miami International Airport has announced it will be closed Monday and begin only limited flights on Tuesday. Orlando International Airport closed Saturday and won't reopen to passenger traffic until after Irma has passed. A damage assessment has been completed, necessary recovery efforts made, and the airlines are consulted to determine when best to resume operations. Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport says on its website it has no timetable yet to reopen. Its last flights were Friday. Tampa International Airport also is closed as Hurricane Irma moves up the Florida peninsula. Airlines are preparing their recovery schedules, which may take several days to execute. President Donald Trump declared a major disaster in the state of Florida on Sunday, making federal aid available to people affected by Hurricane Irma in 9 counties already hit by the storm. The federal help includes temporary housing and home repairs, low-cost loans for uninsured property losses and other programs to help individuals and business owners recover in the counties of Charlotte, Collier, Hillsborough, Lee, Manatee, Miami-Dade, Monroe, Pinellas, and Sarasota. Federal funding also is available to governments and nonprofit organizations for emergencies in all 67 Florida counties. For the first 30 days, that money will cover 100% of the costs of some emergency responses. As the hurricane moves up the west coast, experts have warned of destructive storm surges on both coasts of Florida and the Keys as it follows a path north toward Georgia.